so many questions about pruning hydrangeas, we thought we'd actually show you how to do it with some of the different types that we grow here. This is Panicle Hydrangea. It is one of the ones that is easiest to prune. It's late flowering. You can see it has begun to break its buds. And so we're a little on the edge, but we can still prune this one hard. And the beauty of this one is, depending on how low you want it to go, you can really take a lot of the stems off of this one. You can see the old flower heads. Obviously, we'll be taking those off, but I'll show you exactly why we make the pruning cuts where we do, because one of the cool things about these Panicle Hydrangeas, whether it's the big one or one of the smaller ones, is if you look, you'll see a location where there are actually 3 buds. And if all 3 of those buds break, you will actually have the potential for 3 flower heads later in the summer. The beauty of the Panicle Hydrangeas is they are 100% woody, which means they're not going to die back in the winter months. And that really also sort of informs how we're going to prune them. The dwarf ones, like this little Quickfire, have been bred for smaller stature, slightly different kind of flower form, but how we're going to prune this is going to be really relatively similar to the way we prune the big one. We're going to look for those buds, we're going to prune back as far as we want, but we're not really trying to reduce the height on this one. This is one of the big leaf hydrangeas, and people are probably familiar with Endless Summer and all of the spin-offs or the knockoffs. Here's the issue. Those were actually bred to bloom on both old wood and new wood, but typically in our zone, the old wood is not hardy. So you have to really wait on these to see where those new buds break. And then what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and prune off everything that appears as though it did not make it through the winter, which may mean not flowers until very late. We'll identify a place where it looks like we're going to have a good shoot. And again, you may not get good flowering out of these macrophylla hydrangeas, and that is particularly true if you prune off everything either in the fall or in the spring. Oakley hydrangea is also one of the ones that is 100% woody. It's also one that typically needs very little pruning, with the exception of removing the dead wood. And this is a winter where we got a fair amount of dead wood. The peeling bark will not need to be pruned off as long as you still have live buds. However, this hydrangea will bloom on old wood, and so what that really means is you're going to do the pruning after flowering occurs if you need to do any shaping whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is just take out some of the dead wood, leave all this new growth alone. We'll see what has to be pruned out after it flowers a little bit later. A fourth hydrangea is the smooth hydrangea, known as Annabelle. Easy to prune because this is one that you take either all the way down or you take it down about 18 inches. So again, we've talked about 4 different types of hydrangeas that have essentially 4 different types of pruning. Make sure you know which one you have before you sharpen those pruning shears.